Trump says he'll bring country together at Republican convention after shooting. Edited by Nadia Ragazina, with Gary O'Donoghue, Tom Bateman, and Bernd de Busman Jr. reporting from Pennsylvania. Donald Trump has said he was supposed to be dead, calling the assassination attempt a surreal experience. "I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be dead," said Trump, speaking to the New York Post while en route to Milwaukee for the Trump wore a white bandage that covered his right ear, but his aides did not allow any photographs to be taken, said the Post. The doctor at the hospital said he never saw anything like this. He called it a miracle, Trump added. "We've just been hearing from former Special Agent Ken Gray on the Today program. So far, the House said it is investigating the shooting as a potential act of domestic terrorism, although the motive is still unclear." Gray says the shooter's ability to get as close as he did shows there was a failure in security and that the FBI is conducting an investigation over whether or not it was sufficient for this kind of rally. He explains that prior to the event, security starts with a site survey where they consider possible threats, where they could come from, and how to extract someone from the crowd. The retired agent criticizes the awful long time it took for the security services to get Trump away from the scene, suggesting it could have left another opportunity if there was a second shooter. Republican Congressman Glenn Grothman tells that left-wing media outlets are partly to blame for the assassination attempt on Donald Trump. "I think it is the inflammatory rhetoric, both from the left-wing politicians in the United States and, even more, the left-wing media. They have set up Donald Trump to be some sort of boogeyman, a fascist, a dictator, and as a result, I think there is hatred for him beyond the normal hatred the left has for the Republicans," the Wisconsin representative tells Radio 4's Today program. Pushed on Trump using similar rhetoric, for example surrounding the attack against former Speaker of the House of Representatives Nancy Pelosi's husband in 2022, Grothman says that there is no comparing what Trump sometimes says, which he claims is mostly meant humorously, and the demonization he faces. He says both politicians and the press are calling him a dictator, saying he will be the end of democracy in America, which he says is ridiculous, because Trump was already president for 4 years. "We know exactly what kind of president he will be," Grothman says. The FBI has issued an end-of-day update on its investigation into the attempted assassination on Trump, but it offers little in terms of new details. The Bureau has reiterated that it has not identified why Thomas Matthew Crooks may have attempted to assassinate the former president, but that it is working to determine the sequence of events and the shooter's movements prior to the shooting and is reviewing the evidence collected. While the investigation to date indicates the shooter acted alone, the FBI continues to conduct logical investigative activity to determine if there were any co-conspirators associated with this attack, it says in the statement. Crooks had no known past offenses, and the gun he used in the shooting was purchased legally. There are no current public safety concerns, this says. "We still don't know much about the man behind the shooting, 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks. Crooks, who was shot dead at the scene, was working as a kitchen aide at a nursing home near his hometown in Pennsylvania, where he graduated from high school in 2022. His peers and teachers have described him as respectful, bright, and quiet, with his school counselor telling Reuters he never knew Crooks to be political. Media have reported he was a registered Republican, citing state voter records, but he is also reported to have donated $15 to liberal campaign group ActBlue in 2021. They said on Sunday that it did not find any threatening language on Crooks' social media profile, nor have they found any history of mental health issues. They said they believe the gun used, an AR-style .556 rifle, had been legally purchased by his father, but that the shooter acted alone. In line at a local coffee shop in Pennsylvania, I met a former classmate of Thomas Matthew Crooks, the 20-year-old shooter who was shot dead at the scene. The classmate, who asked to remain nameless because of the current political situation, said he attended the same Bethel Park High School as Crooks, but barely remembered him. He was there, but I can't think of anyone who knew him well, the classmate said. He's just not a guy I really think about. But he seemed fine. Jameson Myers, a former member of the Bethel Park High School varsity rifle team who graduated alongside Crooks in 2022, told CBS that he had been rejected F.